So where do you enter the asset details for T2125? It's best to enter the information on the form T2125 asset, and this will give you the form where you're able to put in the details for that business asset. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at each section and see what type of information we can fill in within these forms. So here we have the T2125 asset details form, and you'll notice that you can start off with filling in the information for asset 1. If you need to fill in another asset, you can scroll right over using the scroll bar and you can enter another asset for asset 2. And as you enter information within these columns, ProFile will build other asset columns. For example, if I enter information here, ProFile will create another asset number 3, and so on. So all you need to do in order for you to enter other assets is to scroll over. ProFile will build these other columns for you as you enter information. So just be aware of that. So what type of information can you fill in within these asset columns? Well, you could start out with the asset description. You can enter that or manually enter that. Put in the percentage for personal use. Class number. So whatever the asset is, you can allocate the asset class number by using this drop down. So of course you'd have to know what class is connected to the actual class number and asset. So you just have to know that. Automobiles, of course, are 10 or 10.1. And then you would enter yes or no. With this addition qualifies as an accelerated investment incentive property. So if that is something that is applicable, then you can enter that in. Put in the acquisition date or start of lease. And this is for current year. Is the asset exempt from 50% rule? You would have to enter a yes or no. And this is where you would have to enter your addition or disposition. Addition, the total cost of the addition. Was there personal portion? Was there a net cost? So that would be calculated by ProFile. Disposition, total proceeds. Personal portion would be figured out in accordance to the other forms. Type of disposition, is it full? Again, you can use this drop down, whether it's full or partial. Lesser of cost and proceeds. That would, again, would be calculated by ProFile. And this is where you would link asset to a particular CCA form. Okay? You can use this drop down. You can either select the one that's available or create a new one. At the bottom, you can fill in the historical information, which is not meant for the current year. The current year is meant for the top section. Okay? If you had an asset that was acquired from years prior, then you would enter that information here, the historical information. The historical information would contain your acquisition date, start of lease, your capital cost, total cost, personal portion. Net cost would be calculated by ProFile. And is there an adjustment? The adjusted cost base, as we know here by the blue text, it would be calculated by ProFile. Okay. So that's the information that you would fill in within this asset column and asset details form. Again, if you need to fill out other assets, just scroll right over and you're able to fill in other or add other assets in. Knowing that ProFile, as soon as you enter information within the columns, ProFile will create another column for you. Okay. Next thing that we're going to take a look at is the T2125 asset list form, and this T2125 CCA will be mentioned in another video. Now, if you want to take a look at the list of your assets, you can go to a form called T2125 Asset List, and it will lay out the assets that you've entered in. The class number will be shown, the description, the date of acquisition, the net cost ACB, total proceeds, the type of disposition, net proceeds, lesser of cost and proceeds, and your UCC. So this is a great form if you just want to take a look quickly at the list of assets that you've created and reference to either class number or the description and take a look at whether you've entered it correctly. Okay, great form to use if you want to quickly look at the list of assets that you've created.